In this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can keep everything organized. Images, data, orders, all that stuff that makes volume photography actually work using the QR match workflow in hhschools. So let's get into it. First thing we want to do is go ahead and create that project. We're going to choose our price list, our package group in there. We're going to grab our CSV of information from the school, make sure that those headers match the fields we're going to import that data into. And then from there, all that information gets imported, and now we can go ahead and print those QR cards. So we're going to select that. We're going to sort those by grade, teacher, and last name because that's how they're coming down to picture day. We're going to use our 2-up version instead of the 3-up version, which is the default. Break those by classroom so that they can be in individual stacks by class. And then the QR cards are meant for the students to take home after picture day to help families go online and order. So you can add a message at the bottom of the QR cards, and I'm going to encourage parents to go online so they can be part of the pre-sale batch order. So we've got a great match rate with this layout. With the QR in the middle, that helps prevent accidental covering up of images or covering up the QR cards when those matches are coming in. So you're going to print those off and cut them in half. And then what we want to do is we also want to print off some blanks for any students that are not on the roster that walk up. We can come in here, we're going to choose that 2-up layout, and we typically want to use about 15% of the student enrollment as a good option there. Adding that web URL, because again, this QR turns into a link for parents and families to go on and order. So we've got those generated, and now we're going to print those off and ready to go have our picture day. So at picture day, what we want to do is we're going to pass out those QRs as they come to the camera. We're going to hold up the QR code for the first photo, make that clear and visible, take however many pictures you need, and then the student can take that QR card home to their family to use that as a link to order online. You have all the information you need in the image in case there's any issues. You know exactly who this person is and how to connect them with their information. Once we're back from picture day, we want to import all those images into hhschools into the project. So we're going to go to our import images and data section. We're going to select our match method, which is the QR method, browse to all those images, grab them. Then from there, we want to put in a name for the camera. In case there's multiple photographers shooting, we want to bring all those images in at this point. And then now we're ready to mark the area where the QR is. So this allows the hhschools to search faster in our system to find out where that image should be located. So if you're always keeping that QR card in the bottom of the image, then that's a simple selection there. Once we get that selected, it will pull those images in, read the QRs off of those images, and match all the images to the data from that QR code. We can see all that confirmed here. So now what we want to do is we want to find if there's anybody that was in those walk-ups. We want to put that information in there. So we've got one individual here. We filtered to first name is blank, and now we can see those images. So I'm going to pull this up larger here so I can type this in from this particular image here. So we've got this particular person here, Hannah Edwards from 7th grade and Mrs. Richardson's class. Get all that typed in there quickly. And now we would do this for all those other images as well. So I'm going to clear that filter. Now we're ready to filter out and just do their culling here. So we're going to filter out all these QR images. Notice how that QR image has the word QR added to the file name. That's how we can filter those out without actually having to delete those. And now we want to cull down to just those that have 2 or more images to make sure we're picking the best image. We've got a few different tools here, and we can see they can come up one screen at a time per person, where you can select the image and use some shortcut keys, or you can use a right control click to select the option to keep that image or send it to recycle bin. There's a few choices there. And you would do this for all the images in this project. Once that's done, now we're ready to import all of the online orders that were placed for this. So if you're pre-ordering, now's the time to bring in all those orders from that pre-order here. And just like the initial data import, we're going to make sure all that the columns match up. And if you're using Imago, they're going to match up automatically for you. Then what hhschools will do is it'll go through and find all the exact matches that are able to match that order to that image, to that person automatically. And then it's going to move you through those that are near matches that we want to confirm this is the correct image, the correct order to use. Once you go through all of that, then you're ready to start uploading those images to the lab. We call that process high-res preload. And so you're preloading all of the high-res images, all the high-res files to the lab so that we can start those image services like knockout, like color correction, and so forth. So that can happen while you're still finishing the job here to allow us to make the opportunity for getting these pictures to your families much faster. And so while it's doing that, what we're going to do here is we're going to do our cropping. And so we've got this great tool called Crop Forward that allows you to make one adjustment to an image and apply that same adjustment to every image after that. So this can really speed up your process for cropping those images. Once you've finished with that initial print crop, then we can get into service item crop so that if the ID cards need a tighter face, then we can do that and it won't affect those initial prints. After the service item crop, then we move into all the specialty products that have been pre-ordered, so we can make a cropping adjustment for that. And what's great is it'll use that initial print crop that you've selected as its default starting place, but then you can make that one adjustment, apply that adjustment forward, and now all of the products should be cropped to your satisfaction. Once that's done, now we can enter in any batch level information like school name, year, anything that's going to be the same for every single person. We can do that at once instead of one at a time. And then finally, we're ready to send that order off to the lab. So what we're going to do here is we're going to fill in our order level preferences. We can create presets to make this simpler, but this is really just saying how do we want the envelopes to be packaged? What type of envelope do you want us to use? Should we post these images to an online gallery? And then do we want to have an insert in them? So it's just different options there. And then finally, how should these envelopes be sorted when they come back to you and banded so that they can be easy for you to distribute to those schools? After one final check to make sure this order looks right on how many packages and products we're ordering, then we can submit that to the lab. And so that's the whole flow. Create the project, photograph the students, import hhschools, and crop and submit your order. This is the exact process volume photographers use every day and what makes their season smoother, faster, and honestly, way less stressful.